Okay. Um, we will do a work with me. But I want to start tonight by asking you, like, what is it that you feel like you're struggling with in your business? Um, and if you have any questions as we go along, I want you to drop it in the chat. I cannot stand the work with me's that are like super silent. Like I just can't do it. And so I've done a lot of my work today already, but I will be going through it with you guys tonight and just kind of sharing with you. I'll share with you what I do on a Friday night. I don't know, I'm just a little bit weird, but I've got like my days marked out as far as like what I do on certain days, and Fridays is one of my days that I try to remove from my network a little bit. So I'll be showing you kind of how I do that a little bit, and then we'll be doing the rest of we'll be doing some engagement. We'll add to our network a little bit. But like I said, if you have any questions, I want you to drop them in the chat. And I will also let's go over like end of the month stuff too. So that, and I'll look at my notes app on my phone, because I know I've written down some notes for my team personally before, where like as you're ending the end of the month, kind of what to what to focus on in the end of the month. But let's do some engagement first. So let's start over on Instagram. So when you get to Instagram on your home screen, I feel short of breath because I just ate Mexican. Like, Lord help us. I have not got my detox in yet, but yeah, Mexican won't be on the menu, right? So when you get to Instagram, you're gonna see, why is Snoop Dogg on here? Oh, it's another like meme, but you're gonna see your stories across the top. Scroll. We're gonna go all the way to the back. And I'm gonna allow us, let's do three. Three sounds good. I'm gonna set a timer for 3 minutes. because I want to keep this super short for you guys too tonight. But I want you to still feel like you got a lot out of it at the same time. So 3 minutes, we're gonna engage on stories over on Instagram. When I'm engaging on stories, I'm not like swiping through and sending the heart emoji or anything like that. If it's somebody who's posting like a lot of negative stuff, I will go ahead and unfollow them there. If it is a fellow thriver, I will likely unfollow also, just because I don't want my feed to get bogged down with people who are in our business already. But I just kind of go through and I look to see what people have going on their stories. I usually respond back with like, I try to ask questions to people a lot. You can also get some ideas as you're looking through their stories. You can get some ideas on like what to put in your stories yourself. So maybe you want to share like the book you're reading or the podcast you're listening to in the car on the way to work, or, I don't know, maybe you just bought clothes for your kids, or you just decorated for something, or, what's going on like in your life beyond the business a little bit. I also like to kind of keep an eye on, even if they're in a different company or they have a different product that they are marketing, I keep an eye on like, how are they marketing it? Like, how are they presenting it? How are they showing it so that it's appealing to the eye? And if I see something super, super cute, I'll even ask people, I'll be like, hey girl, like this is super cute. What app are you using to create this? And it doesn't matter if it's somebody who's already in network marketing, who already has a business. It doesn't matter if they're happy. It's still a relationship that you can build online, and you guys can always learn from each other, right? And so I don't hesitate to ask questions like that too, because we are always learning. We always have an area where we can improve. And you'll find some really kick-ass friends that way too, when you're just like honest and you're like, hey, like, can you teach me how to do this? Or hey, can you send me that recipe? Or, ask questions. Keep going with your stories. I want you to ask yourself, like, as you're engaging on stories though, in the morning, I like to engage on people that I started following the day before. So that's where I'll kind of start my morning every day on Instagram and on Facebook. I'll go to the following section, and then I'll go to sort it by recent, and then I'll go through their stories. And there's a 3-minute timer. So I'll show you how to do that. So if you go to your page and you go to following over here on the right, you'll see, I'm just pretending like all y'all are newbies, but you'll see the up and down arrow here. If you click it once, it'll say date followed, latest or earliest, and I'll use latest. And this is where I go first thing in the morning, like after I've done some self-development, maybe I've had some quiet moments in prayer. I've already had that moment to myself, and I'm ready to actually sit down and do a round of IPAs. This is where I start my engagement for the day, because it's the people that I just added from the day before that will be at the top of this list if you search by latest. And so if you go to the first person and you go to their stories and you start engaging through their stories, it's going to automatically, the next person it's going to default to is that second person on the list. And so you'll go through that first person story. So this girl's got 3 slides, and then you'll be able to click the next person as well. And that's how I do my morning engagement. My afternoon engagement is usually on my feed posts, and then my evening engagement, let's do 3 minutes on this, because I do think that this one is really important. I don't know why I picked to do it at nighttime, but I do it at night, and I typically do about 7 minutes. I don't usually do 3. We're kind of doing it short and simple tonight. But I always say you have to be a friend to have a friend. Have you ever had that friend that, like, it's all about her? Like, she only wants to talk about her and never asks you questions about you, and you feel like the relationship is one-sided, and you get super frustrated because the focus is always on the other person and they don't seem to really care about you. That's the last friend that you want to be on social media. You don't want to just be posting, sharing on your stories, and not giving back and not letting that door swing both ways. And so at night, where I like to go is I go to my stories, and at the bottom, like, it doesn't matter what story you go to. I usually pick like the one from the morning, because your first story in the morning every morning will have the most views than any other story throughout the day. That's just kind of how the algorithm works. And so I'll go to my first story from the morning, and I'll click at the bottom left-hand corner. You'll see seen by, and you'll see how many people are viewing your story. So go to that, and you'll be able to see all these people that are watching your stories. And so if they have a ring around their face, it means that they have an active story. So you can go there and you can see what they're up to. Now, that being said, I do not go back through Thrivers, because as you are in this business longer, I've been here for 3 years, you'll realize that your team, fellow Thrivers, they will start watching you because they're learning from you as you grow as a leader. So I don't go through their stuff unless it's somebody that I've personally enrolled and I want to keep in contact with them, and I want to just kind of see how they're doing and just kind of check in as like a, hey girl, like, that's super cute, I like that you did this, or whatever. Maybe they're speaking some truth on their stories. I don't do it every day with my downline, but I try to engage with people who have viewed my stories at the end of the night, people that are not in our business. So let's do a 3-minute real quick. Timer on. So you'll go through there and you'll click their face, and you'll just kind of see like what's going on in their life, right? These are people that watch you. So it's very important to make sure that they feel seen and they feel heard, and maybe they are going through a hard time, and maybe they could use some encouragement, and maybe they post something in their stories that maybe they're struggling with, and you can kind of show up on your stories the next day and speak some truth into it and speak some some life into somebody else on your stories. If you see that maybe somebody else is going through a hard time, maybe you're going through a hard time right now. I've been going through that lately, probably the last, I don't know, I feel like it's been all October is what it feels like. But I've been going through my own struggles. And when I see people on my stories that are watching me, that I look at their stories and they're struggling too, like that's where we connect and that's where we can talk. And it doesn't always end up being about business or about products or whatever, but sometimes it's just people need a friend and people need to feel heard and supported. So make sure you go and you love on your people. I don't know why I do it at night, but that's just kind of what I do. And you'll start to notice the same people that are watching you every single day. And then you'll start noticing like new people. You're like, oh, who's Taylor? Right? I've never seen her before. And then you start watching her stories and you guys connect about something. I think it's probably the most important engagement piece that you can do if you're going to do interactions or engagement with anybody. I think the first place would be the people that are already watching you and they're already looking at your content and they already are listening to what you have to say. Anybody have anybody? Yeah, Jess, October's been rough. Anybody have anybody on social media that's like, maybe they're with a different company, maybe they're not with any company at all, but like they're your Instagram bestie or they're your Facebook bestie, and you guys just like click and you like secretly in the back of your mind, you're like, that's my A team, right? Like I would love to have her on my team. Does anybody have those people? I have mine written down. And some of them are now on my team. And so if you have those people that you connect with on social media, that's your 3-minute timer, by the way, that you just vibe with, that you get each other, you understand, maybe you're going through the same things. Stay close to those people. Stay close to those people because there's gonna be a day if you are full-heartedly into this business and you're consistent and you believe in what you have your hands on and you believe in yourself as a leader and you continue to grow and you continue to show up, there's going to be a day where you speak to her. You speak to her through your post or you speak to her through your stories and she's going to connect with you and she might just be your A team, right? So always keep those people. I write mine down. And they change over time, but I write mine down so that I can always make sure that I'm staying connected with those people. Okay, so that's 3 minutes. I want to also, so real quick, I will tell you how I remove on Instagram because I do my cleanup on Fridays. Don't know why Friday, don't ask. But if you go to the people that you are following, ooh, it's hard to see, people that you are following, going back to that little spot on Instagram, least interacted with usually shows you 50 people. Okay. I used to go through, and you can, anything you learn on a work with me or you hear a live video from a leader in the team page, take what you want and leave what you don't. You do not have to do everything the same way that we do it. And the way that we currently do it right now might not be the way that we do it next month or the month after. We always are evolving in this business. So, this is just kind of what works for me right now, or what I've noticed a trend in these 50 people that it shows you that you least interact with. I used to spend a lot of time interacting with these people to try to build those relationships back up, because for me, I felt like that was the people that were like on the back of the stories, like the very, very back. I thought, well, if I interact with them, then it'll push them forward a little bit more. And it might, but I started actually looking at their news feed. And if you look at them, some of them are like, some of them don't actually come on social media very often. And that is why they don't interact with you very often. And so that's just kind of what I found, like as an overview. Not everybody in this little section will meet that criteria, but for the most part, these are people, to me, it seems, that are like, maybe they are like little boutiques, or they are bloggers or influencers, or just straight up people that don't get on social media much. And so I'll kind of go through and I'll look at their profile photo here, and I'll say, is it clean? Can I see their face? Is it just a picture of a graphic? Is it like a Snapchat, like kind of, is it black and white? Is it like, is it clear? Is it clean? Is it somebody that like visually looks like a normal person? And if it doesn't, I start unfollowing them. If it's if you look at their profile, if you open it up and you see, okay, when's the last time they actually posted on social media? Maybe you'll see that it was like December 2020, and you're like, oh, right, maybe these aren't the people that you want filling that space on your social media. So I just kind of clean that up a little bit. I don't usually unfollow more than like 50. Just, you can pick a couple every now and then. The majority of my cleaning up goes on over on Facebook. But before we go to Facebook real quick, what I want to do is let's spend 3 minutes again on the Reels section in your phone. I mean, on your Instagram. So the Reels section is going to be this little in the middle here, the little, I don't know, it looks like a, wow, words are hard today, you guys. It's the third icon at the bottom of your home screen of your Instagram. And it'll bring you to all these little videos, and you can literally scroll them just like TikTok. Okay. And you can turn your volume up a little bit. I spend 7 minutes a day because I do not want to get sucked into the Reels hole, the TikTok hole, or anything like that. I spend 7 minutes a day intentionally engaging on Reels, because Reels are very popular right now. If you're not posting them, I urge you to just play with it, just test it out, because these short clips are what Instagram loves right now. They love anytime, Reels have been around for like just barely over a year. Did you know that? So if you're not doing Reels, you are way behind the times, right? Unless you're brand new, then like, don't let me scare you. But they've been around for a year. And if you're not using a tool that Instagram has put out, a new feature that's been around for an entire year, if you haven't even played with it yet, if you're not new to this business, then like you're a little bit like, you need to get on it. You need to start doing it. You need to start dabbling in it a little bit. You don't have to be like half naked and dancing. You don't have to lip sync. You don't have to do any of that. It can literally be just like, if you have 15 seconds of something that you want to say on your stories, you can turn that into a reel. You can copy, all these things that the other people are doing and make it your own. You can, and I'll show you how to do that, but we're going to spend 3 minutes on that reel section. And this is what I do when I'm engaging. So I will, if I see something that I will like it. I will see if I'm following the person. If I like it and I'm not following the person, then I will follow them. I'll click that follow button. This is a great way to add to your network, because you get to see people's personality a little bit, versus if you're looking at their feed, you get to see their personality, right? Are they funny? Are they like educational? Are they inspirational? What are they? And so this is where I add to my network a lot, but I'll add, I'll go into the comments. If it's a reel that has a lot of comments, I'll go into the comments, and you can find new friends here. You can add to your network here. You can click on the names of the people, and you can say, okay, is this somebody that I would like to follow? What kind of content are they putting out? This girl's a mama. This girl, like, she likes to go to Disney. Like, do we have anything in common? Right? And if so, you can add them from there. But I encourage you to go dig a little deeper in the comments and start conversations with people in the comments of reels too, because it will jack your engagement up on your personal content as well. So the third thing that I'll do in this reel section, so I engage, I add to my network, and I also get ideas for my own reels. So let's see. Hold on. Okay, so you know this audio? If you got negative energy, don't be around me. I'm feeling good. Okay. I'm feeling good. So this audio, let's say you wanted to use this. If you got negative energy, don't be around me. I'm feeling good. I think I used it for like Black Labels one day, because Black Labels make you feel good, right? Maybe you want to make that out of you know, a DFT. I got nurse brain. Lord help us. DFT reel about your DFT, right? And you're like, man, I'm feeling good. What you can do when you come across an audio that you like is you can save it. Hang on. A lot of you guys might know this already. But so you've got your likes, your comments, your saves. I mean, your shares, sorry. And then you have the little ... So if you click the ... you will have an option. Remind me not to eat Mexican again. You'll have an option right there to save. Do you see that? So you can save the reel. And where that ends up going is you go back to your page and you hit the little hamburger lines at the top, the top right-hand corner. Hit the little hamburger lines. And there's a little flag there. It says saved. Sorry, you guys. And so what's going to pop up are all the posts that you've saved. So these are like all the reels that I've saved before that I would like to recreate, or at least use the audio from it to create my own. And it reminds me whenever I go and look in this section, maybe I'm not feeling creative. Maybe I'm just like, I don't know what kind of reel to put out today. I'll go through this section and I'll pick one, because at some point I liked what it was. I liked the audio, or I had an idea of what to go behind it. And so what you can do from there, so you can see at the top corner here is the reel that I just saved, right? And so from there, you get into a moment where you're like, okay, I'm actually ready to create this reel. Then you can go to the audio, you open it up, you go to the audio down here, you save the audio, then you go back into your stories. Does everybody know how to do this? You go back into your stories and you create the reel with that audio. And one thing that I've learned is on the audio, do you see the arrow right there above my fingernail? That means that audio is trending right now. That means that you're going to be getting more views on it if you use an audio that has the arrow. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. I hope you guys have been engaging on reels. This is a great place. Like I said, this is a great place to find people, to connect with people, to see their personality a little bit, and you get ideas for reels. Ideas on how you can just kind of share your personality a little bit and have fun with it. Reels doesn't have to be stressful. They're a lot less stressful than a live video, I'll tell you that. So let's go over to Facebook. And I'll just kind of breeze through it. Let's do another 3 minutes. I'll start the clock now. So over on Facebook, go to your story. Same deal that we did on Instagram. It's a little bit more time consuming on Facebook to do, to see the people that have viewed your story and to interact with them. you have to actually click their name on Facebook. So if you click their name, it's going to bring up Messenger like that. Then you click their name again, and it's going to look like that. And then you click profile, and it's going to look like that. And then you click, see the circle around her face? You click around it and you get to their story. Like I said, it's a little bit more time consuming, but it's very important to love on your people. So spend these 3 minutes loving on your people. And the same rules apply. So when you're done with that one person's stories, you kind of gotta hit the back button. Why do I have a frog in my throat? You gotta hit the back button to get back to to see the other people. And you might come across somebody, not everybody will have an active story. So if you have somebody that's watching your stories on Facebook and you click their name and you click their profile and you click and you get to them and like she doesn't have a story, then I look to see it, take it a little bit further. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see if she posted today, or let's see what her most recent post is and how maybe I can engage from there. That's kind of how I do it, at least. And you'll notice the same people are still watching you. Maybe your neighbor watches you. Maybe your coworker that acts like she hates you watches you. Maybe that old friend you don't even talk to anymore watches you. They're all watching you. And so just like Jessie Lee says, like, give them a show, right? Give them a show and show up every day, dedicated, devoted to this business, unwavering faith that you are in the right place, that you are in the right spot, that you have something that can help people. And I'm not talking about black labels and a business that provides a Tuesday paycheck. I'm talking about you have something that can help people. You specifically. What can you provide? Can you provide one-on-one training? Can you provide mindset support? Can you help her build that belief in herself? What can you do? Because I recently put my IG and my Facebook public. Absolutely, Katie. It should be public. If it's not public, nobody's seeing your stuff, baby. Some things every now and then, if I post something that maybe I don't want everybody seeing, like maybe it's something about my kids or something like that, then every now and then I'll change the privacy to like friends or something. But for everything else, everything is public. Okay, so that was our timer. Why am I having a hard time with my throat? Go to your messenger. We're going to cut Facebook short tonight. I'm sorry. I don't want to keep you guys here forever, but go to your Facebook Messenger. I lied. Has anybody not done birthdays yet today? Still new. Welcome, love. I did it 2 weeks ago. Still new. I've never had so many viewers, and the people I can't see says others. You can't over on Facebook. Sometimes you can't see them. Sometimes you can't see them. Let me see if I have anybody like that. Like if they have a private account, you're talking about this at the bottom, I think is what you're talking about, down there at the bottom. You can't see that. I've never been able to see that. It's like if their account is shut down and their account, not shut down, but if their account is private and not public, then, but don't stress out over that. I mean, they're still watching you, but pay attention to the people that you can actually engage back with. Maybe one day those people will open up and make their page public, but for now it's not. Does anybody still need to do birthdays? I'll touch on birthdays real quick. So if you go to your homepage and you search, use the little search option here, you can type in birthdays today, and then you'll see where it pops up like this that tells you who's had birthdays today. I've already talked to people for their birthday. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm coughing. But what I used to do, so you've got a couple different options. You can either write on their timeline and say happy birthday. I feel like 300 people probably do that for their birthday, and it's a little less personal, I think. I used to just click that blue button right there and just go to directly into their messenger and say happy birthday. Hope you're having a great day. And I used to leave it like as a question, like, do you have any plans for the day? That's still a great option. I think it's a better option over going to their timeline, unless you're just like, unless it's somebody you're actually friends with, like a coworker or somebody that you see all the time, you might want to do something a little bit more personal. But one thing that I've started doing recently is I'll kind of wait until noon or so. I'll save my birthdays until like the later part of the day. And then what I'll do is when you get to this section where you see everybody's birthdays, I'll click on their name and I'll go and I'll see if they have a story. And a lot of people will post like what they're doing for their birthday, or maybe like they got flowers from their husband, or maybe they're having cake, or they'll post something about their birthday. And it's a great way to connect with them there too, where you can say, oh, what a great birthday or whatever. And you can kind of do it that way. I've noticed that, quite honestly, I've noticed that a lot of people are more willing to talk to you when I do it that way. Which leads me into cleaning up on Facebook. So at some point or another, if they don't have a story, an active story today, and today's their birthday, then I will go to their messenger and I'll say happy birthday and I'll ask them if they have any plans. And I typically give people like a 2-week time frame. And so if you scroll, if you get into a practice, I'm so sorry, you guys, get into a practice of saying hi to people on their birthday every single day as part of your business. You'll find where you scroll down, let me go way back. Don't judge me. I still have a lot of cleaning up to do on my messenger, but this is why I do it every Friday. I am not the type of person that I can overwhelm myself with 100 IPAs every single day. I used to add, like, I would have like adding to my network, removing from my network every single day. I would have like all these things. And it's just like, I would overwhelm myself because I could never accomplish all the things that I had on my list that I wanted to get done for the day. And so I had to simplify it, and I had to say, okay, what can I take away? And removing or cleaning up your network is something that is totally fine to be done once a week. It really is. Adding to your network, if you only did that once a week, you're going to be hurting yourself. But removing from your network, if you did it once a week, it's still fine. So this is back in May. Like I said, don't judge me. Some Fridays I miss it, okay? But this is back in May, and in May I wasn't doing this every Friday, but you can see an example of all these people that I said happy birthday to in May. Facebook Messenger, the way it works is when you scroll through Messenger on this little page here on the chat section, you're going to see the last thing that was said in that specific chat. So the last thing that was said in all of these was me telling them happy birthday, which means they didn't say anything back to me. Okay, so I'll go into this like this. She never said anything. She looked at it because I can see at the bottom where she looked at it. If they don't have the decency, right? And like I said, I'll give them like a 2-week time frame or so. But if they don't have the decency to talk back to me when I said to them happy birthday, 2 things. Either they don't want to talk to me, which is fine. That's not a reflection on me. That doesn't mean that I'm doing anything wrong. That is a reflection on them, that they're not open for that conversation, right? And so I will remove from my network that way. If I said happy birthday to them and I gave them a good grace period to Maybe they're going through some things, maybe life's hitting them hard or whatever, and they needed some time to come back to me to say thank you for telling me a happy birthday and just let me know how their birthday went. I'll give them that grace period. But I think since May, this person's had a lot of grace period, right, to get back to me. And so at this point, she either doesn't want to talk to me, which I'm totally fine with, or she's not on social media as much as I thought she was when I friend requested her, or she friend requested me, right? Or we became friends on social media. So you cannot get all butthurt about it. I just go through and I delete them. And then I hit the back button and I delete it from my messenger so that it's not bogging down my messenger. So spend a few minutes doing that, or put it into practice, like write that down. And maybe it's something that you want to start doing, because I used to get super overwhelmed with the amount of people that were in my messenger. I felt like I lost people. I felt like I was talking to somebody and then I forgot what their name was. They were interested in the products or they were interested in the business. And for the longest time, like I was not staying organized. I was not writing down people's names. I was not the least bit treating this like a business for at least the first year in business, if I'm being quite honest with you. And it took me some time to adjust. It took me some time to grow, to realize, hey, like you're not doing the things that need to be done for you to get paid the way that you want to get paid, you know? And so that's a hard pill to swallow, but we have to start treating our business like a business. Otherwise, it will never pay you like one. And one of the most important things you can do is organize and strategize. Why is my water bottle so loud? Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to read you off a couple things that I want to end this with tonight. Some end of the month tips, but I also want you to ask yourself, what did you put in your stories today? If I went and looked at your stories, what would you have up there? Wow, you guys. Would you have your products on your stories? If so, what products did you highlight on your stories? What products did you show? Did you show your capsules? Did you show your shake? Did you show a plus line item? Are there items that are in your pantry that you use every single day or you use very frequently? Are there items that you're using that you're not highlighting on your stories? And is that an area that you can grow in? Because for me, it is. Like I'm always showing my capsules. Some days I flake and life gets busy, and I understand, but sometimes I'll go back at the end of my day and I'm like, oh my God, like I only showed my capsules. Like I just failed for that day. Right. And then I pick it up the next day and I try again. And there's always gonna be days like that. But I want you to ask yourself, what products did you show on your stories? And are there any products that you're currently using that you are neglecting to highlight on your story? So like for the longest time, like I don't know if I've really talked about Sculpt much, but I take Sculpt every day. Sometimes I fail at talking about rest. I use rest probably 3 or 4 times a week. And these are items like you cannot be so closed-minded thinking that everybody has to be a 3-step customer. There's going to be customers that come in that are, I've got a customer right now. She's only a rest customer. That's all she buys is just rest. I've got another customer who she only buys Activate. She buys Activate, coconut watermelon, or not coconut watermelon, coconut pineapple. That's all she buys. She doesn't buy the 3 steps. So are there any items that you're taking, any products that you're taking that you're neglecting to highlight on your stories? Or is there anything that maybe you can put on your next shipment that you're like, okay, I've talked about the 3 steps for like 6 months now. Is there something else that catches my eye on our plus line items that maybe I can order next time and open up my broaden my horizons a little bit? So maybe you want to start implementing skincare or hair, skin, and nails gel or rest or whatever, detox. You never know. So think about that. When's the last time you've done a personal promo? Personal promo can be you using your credits. It can be like if you want to use the promos that the company puts out, I always kind of try to make it like it's my promo, right? So that people know that they can order through me and it's not just go to Lavelle's website, right? But when's the last time you did a personal promo? So I thought about that this morning. I was like, you know what? I haven't done a personal promo in a while, or a giveaway. When's the last time you did a giveaway? What can you do to kind of spice it up a little bit? So I did a Black Label kind of promo thing today that I'm going to have going on throughout the weekend, because Black Labels are just my jam. They've always been my jam. They've been my favorite DFT since the day that I tried it. And I talk about them all the time. I talk about the 5-HTP. I talk about the B12 that's in it. I talk about the mood support. I talk about being patient with my kiddos and, you know, not losing my poop on them. Not my poop, but losing my crap on them. Try not to cuss. Because I feel like I'm a better mama with them. So think about that too. And then end of the month tips. Let me go to my notes. Let me see where I put this. It's been a while since I've opened this one up. I'm just going to read this to you. Hopefully it helps. Number one, you have to be consistent. You have to bring the energy and the passion to what you do. This is not my notes. Hold on, that's something else. Yep, this is the one I wanted. Not that that's not true. That's very true. You have to bring the energy and you have to bring the passion. Not every morning do you need to just have a boomerang of your capsules. You need to actually flip that camera around sometimes and talk about how the capsules make you feel. Talk about how that DFT makes you feel. I'm so sorry, you guys. End of the month tips. Okay, here's the one I wanted to read you. Oh boy, it's a little wordy, so bear with me and then we're gonna hop off here, okay? I've been here for 3 years and these are my biggest tips that I can tell you at the end of every month. So you've got today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Number one, mindset check. Am I keeping myself out of the game? What have I been scared to do? Maybe you've been scared to go live. Maybe you need to do a dual live with your enroller. Maybe you are scared to go face to face on your stories. Maybe you are scared to do a reel. I don't know what that is for you, for your business, but what is it that you're scared to do? You need to write that down, and that needs to be kind of a focus as you go into November. Like, where can I grow? Can doing the one thing that scares me, can that actually push me to be better? Can it push me to be more confident? Can it push me to be a better leader so that I show up differently for the next girl who's about to join my team, right? Plan it out and work this last few days intentionally. Am I a product of the product? Meaning, are you drinking your water? Are you moving your body? We work for a nutritional company on social media, so it's very important. I'm not saying that you have to like diet or you have to like be, you know, strict Sally on your whatever, your carb intake or whatever, but are you a product of the product, or what's going on behind closed doors? As something that I have struggled with for a long time is emotional eating, right? So like in moments where I'm stressed out or I'm sad or I'm mad or whatever, like I that's a weakness of mine, that I emotionally eat. And so I have to think to myself when I'm going to the pantry at 10 o'clock at night, like, Amber, does this align? And I'll say to myself, and sometimes I'll write on my IPA list every day, I'll put move my body, drink my water, because my body is my business. And you have to think about that sometimes, because if you are trying to attract people who want to buy a health and wellness product from you, and you're sitting there and eating Cheetos, but you are marketing a health product, there's a misalignment there. And your content on social media, there's going to be like a disconnect, if that makes sense. The energy, the passion behind it, there's going to be a little disconnect that people are going to be able to feel. I'll just say that. Am I eating the things that I should be eating to get the results that I want to have? Am I moving my body? Am I drinking my water? If this month has not gone exactly as planned, this is not the time to take your foot off the gas. This is the work that will lead to the momentum in the future. So you might not believe me, but I'm telling you, like, what you want to see in 2022, it happens in these last 3 months, October, November, December. That is going to push you into 2022. And so I want you to think about yourself 3 months from now. Where do you want to be? How do you want to be in your business? What kind of leader do you want to be? And that starts now. When it's the end of the month and maybe your tracker isn't as full as you want it to be, or you haven't enrolled as many people as you wanted to, this is not the time to just like take your foot off the gas and be like, well, it just didn't happen this month. Like, it's just not in the cards. Like, at least there's not a bonus attached to this month, right? Like, you cannot have that mindset. You have to have the mindset of every day matters, and every day is a little footstep to get closer to the top of that mountain. And if you decide to take your foot off the gas, it's like you slipped on a little thing of mud and you're just sliding back down, and before you know it, you're back to base camp, and you're like, I was halfway up the mountain and now I'm sitting at base camp with my Cheetos at 10 o'clock at night. How did I get here? And then you're going to start going into this negative mindset spiral of, maybe I can't do it, maybe I'm not good enough, and how come she's got this going on for her business and I don't. It's a really toxic, really negative place to be, when it could have been avoided in the first place if you had not given up on yourself, or you had not taken your foot off the gas. Let's see. The worst thing that you can do is not take no action just because you're not where you want to be right now. Number 2, do I have customers, samplers, VIPs, or promoters to check in with? Maybe you've got that promoter on your team that she's been quiet for a while. You need to talk to her. You just need to touch base as a friend and say, hey, like, you've been quiet. I just want to make sure you're okay, right? This is not a conversation of, okay, where are your enrollments? Like, how's business? Like, how are you, right? Maybe you've got a sampler that you haven't checked in with her in 2 days, and you need to check back in with people. Write these people down. When checking in with them, don't just ask like, how are you doing on the products? You don't want to set them up for failure in that aspect, because a lot of people, when you say, how are you doing on the products? Like, they don't know how to answer that. How should they be feeling on the products, right? Like, this is brand new to them. You have to guide them through the process and kind of ask questions to kind of open up those answers a little bit for them. So you say like, have you noticed that you've had more energy? How do you feel with the taste of the shake? How's the texture? Like, tell me how things are going, right? That kind of stuff. You want to ask those kinds of questions. Number 3, have I earned my free product credit? If not, this weekend, you need to go product heavy on your posts. If you have not set yourself up for free product credit, and I will tell you, it took a long time for your girl. I've been here for 3 years. It took me a long time to finally start earning my free product credit. So I know what it's like to not earn it. I know what it's like to not have a paycheck on Tuesday. I know what it's like, but the quicker you can get out of that arena, the quicker you're going to start building more confidence in your business. Because when you set yourself up for free product credit and you start getting consistent in that, and you have free product credit that's coming in every single month, it's like you walk a little taller, right? And you know that like, you've got this, right? And you start to believe in yourself a little bit more, and you start to show up a little bit differently. But you cannot sit here at 3 days left in the month and you haven't set up your free product credit, you don't have your 2 enrollments, and then post like, I don't even know what, like, you need to post about the products, how they make you feel, what's your journey, what's your story, what are some things that you love about the products, what are some of the benefits that they can get from the products. Maybe you're talking about it on your stories. Wow, we've been going a long time, you guys. I'm sorry. But these things are where you need to focus if you haven't set yourself up for free product credit, because the month is not over. We have the whole weekend left. Let's see. If you have a second account, have you earned them on your second account? Or did you just listen to me and go, oh my God, I can't even think about a second account right now. Like, I just need to focus on my one account, right? Then you need to focus on your one account first. And we'll talk about that later. Number 4, recap the month. Like, what went well? Where could you have done better? Give yourself a pat on the back for this. A pat on the back. Sorry, you guys, it's late. It's past my bedtime, but give yourself a pat on the back. I want you to celebrate your small wins. Like, Maybe you spoke some light into people. Maybe you have a couple samplers that came this month that are loving their products, that are ready to order. Maybe you've got some people that are curious and they might order some samples from you soon. What are your small wins? Write those down so that you can actually keep track of, like, okay, what's my progress? Like, what did I do good this month? Where can I improve? What could I have done better? And bring that energy into the next month, and purposely work towards those areas that maybe need a little bit of improvement. Because like I said, that's where you're going to start to develop yourself more, and you're going to start to be a little bit more confident in what you have to offer, not what this team has to offer, not what the products have to offer, but what you have to offer somebody else. Let's see. Have you been resourceful? If you have problems in your business, especially if they keep coming up and you're like, God, I can't get a sample out to save my life. Like, have you actually been resourceful? Have you looked in the team page to see what kind of resources we have on sampling, on conversations, on how to talk to people, on closing the sale, assuming the sale, being confident, being bold in your conversations with people? Where can you grow and learn a little bit more so that in this next month that we're about to go into, that maybe you can bring a different energy to that one little area that maybe you need a little help in. Be resourceful. And then the fifth thing is planning. What kind of content do I want to put out each week? Do I want to do more live videos? Do I need to put out more product information? Do I need to do some opportunity live events? Am I only going live on Facebook? Do I need to go live on Instagram? Do I need to do reels? What is it that you need to do? Do I need more photos of the products? If so, write down what days that you can kind of batch a couple photos, write down the team trainings. I urge you to get on the Sunday planning Zooms. Those are incredibly helpful, especially if you work outside of this business. Even if you don't, they're super, super helpful for you to get on and learn how to organize and strategize your business. What Work With Me Zooms can you attend? I'm telling you, like, I'll do the Sunday planning Zooms, and I'll attend one Work With Me Zoom per week. I do not overwhelm myself in the chats. I do not stay in the chats. I don't live in the chats. I can't answer everybody's question in the chats. This is the whole reason for layered leadership. So you have different leaders that are in your chats that can help answer different questions. You don't always have to be the end all be all. You don't have to help everybody else out. You have to focus at the end of the day on your business first. And that is the number one thing that you can do to help support your team, believe it or not, is showing up for you first, because they watch what you do and they learn from what you do. Right? It's kind of like that saying that's like, y'all, it's late. It's like that saying that's like, don't, I don't even know, never mind. We're not even going to go there, but they watch what you do. And so show up for your business first. Write down your Zooms that you're planning on attending, write down the planning Zooms, write down the areas that you did well this month, write down the areas that maybe you need to work on a little bit. And last but not least, do I have loyal customers who love the product right now? Do you? I write down every single month. I write down who's ordering, what day they ordered on. And every month I kind of look at it and I'm like, okay, she ordered again. She ordered again, right? She ordered again. And then you realize, hey, you've got some loyal customers here. Before you know it, these are the people that you need to love on. You need to start, when you can, send them thank you notes, send them plus line items if you're able to do that yet. And if not, it's okay. Maybe it's just an encouraging message. Maybe it's a thank you for supporting me in their Facebook Messenger or whatever. You just keep in contact with those people. But if they are a loyal customer of yours, are you doing them a disservice by not telling them about free product credit? So I urge you to make sure that your customers, if they want to be, are added into the customer page. And you tag them in, just type product credit in the customer page. And I have a live video that I did in there that explains to our customers how they can earn free product credit. And you need to step up as a leader with your customers and say, hey, I will help you 100% with these conversations. If you have somebody that would be interested in doing this with you, maybe they would enjoy trying the products. You've got a family member, a friend, a coworker, whatever. Let me know, and I will be more than happy to jump in a three-way conversation. They can call me, they can text me, and I can help personalize a pack for them, because when they have a referral, when they have 2 referrals, they can earn free product credit. And so imagine if you have a loyal customer for 6 months, and they saw this video that I did that's talk about free product credit, and you never told them that they could earn free product credit. Can you imagine how that would make them feel? Like, you have to make sure that you are doing customer service, right? You are doing your customer service for your customers, and you are being a friend so that you have a friend in return, right? That door swings both ways, right? They're taking care of you by ordering with you, right? Instead of just going to the Lavelle website, you got to take care of them and make sure that they know about their options, because some of your most loyal customers will become your next promoter. They just will, if you treat them right and you love them and you show them that we love hard here. So teach them about their free product credits. And here's the other thing that's great with free product credits. Yes, it's great that customers can do that and promoters can do that as well. When you have 2 things. So when you have like a bonus period, maybe you've earned, I don't know how long you guys have been here, but when you've earned a bonus, you have to you have to have that brand new volume every single month to qualify for that bonus. It's not just paid out. You got to still work for that, right? And so one great way, just keep this in the back of your mind for the next bonus season, but I want you to get into the habit of making sure that you love on your customers in this way, because that volume that they refer becomes your PPA. Okay. Your very first customer, like your very first order, like you have to have a certain amount of PPA each month whenever you're in a bonus qualifying to be able to qualify for your bonus period. Does that make any sense? So, that counts for you, because they're not a promoter, they're just a customer, but they referred them and it's all under your link. So that counts for that volume. It counts just the same as you signing a customer yourself. The only difference is you place them under their link, but their link is under your link. It's just their customer. They're not your promoter. So it's the same identical thing. If I went and signed my brother up as a customer, and then I had a friend that referred her husband that wanted to be a customer, my brother and that husband over there, those are identical in the volume that it counts for me, and also in the commission that I earn off of both of them. Even though I personally enrolled this one, and this one was technically a referral from one of my customers, the commission still gets paid to me because the person that referred that person is still a customer and they don't want to be a promoter. So that commission goes to the next promoter upline. Does that make sense? So that's just, I don't know. Wow, we've been here an hour, you guys. But anyways, I hope this was helpful. And we'll talk to you guys later. I mean, it's been super, super long. I'm sorry for getting so long-winded. Detox, Harriet. All right, you guys, I love you. Way past our bedtimes. Go get some rest. Bye.